All right. Welcome, everyone, to our session on how to collect work online in specifically Schoology. Um, First thing I want to do is cover the PD part of this. If you need credit for this, make sure you put it on your PD log. Um, I think Becky will be sending out a form later on to just keep track of what courses you've attended and what courses you've been to. So uh, look for that coming up. Um, is there anything else that I need to address with that, Trish? Do you think?
I don't think so,
Anybody
unless
else?
you have questions.
Any questions? All right. Well, let's dive right on in. The first thing I'm going to do is talk about linking courses. Now, you can do this in Schoology if you have multiple courses that are the same section or multiple sections that are the same course. So if you're teaching three sections of Algebra 1, you can link them all together and you only have to do the resources for one that way. Um, most people, most everybody in here, I'm looking at the list, most everybody in here has probably knows how to do this, but again, we're just kind of refreshing everybody's memory on how to do things. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Let's see. Which one am I going to share? All right. Let me go to one of my tabs here. Find the right one. There we go. So to do this, you're going to have to go to courses, my courses, and of course nobody can do this right now because your real courses aren't in there. They'll be there in there soon, hopefully. Um, but what you would want to do is click on this link here, and you would see the name of your course and the sections listed. So you would click on the first one and click the gear next to it and click link existing sections. And then you can choose to link one or two or all of the sections you have of the same course. Again, that's going to give you some benefits in the fact that you don't have to do your course content three different times. Now, if you have one section that's like a little off, like it's at the high school, it would be the third block section where you might get a little further ahead than the other sections. You might not want to link those sections together, but for the most part, it's a really great convenience feature for linking sections together there. Next thing I'm going to go through is just basic assignments. Now, for the purposes of this, I'm talking about the assignment type in Schoology. Okay, some of you may post assignments on Schoology that you don't collect through Schoology. Okay, for example, think of Terry. I'm thinking of art. You might post the instructions for an art project, and they're turning that in class. That's not an assignment in Schoology. I'm talking about the assignment type feature in Schoology here. So I'm going to do the basic type, and then I'm going to throw it over to Trish to show you how to do the Google document type. So obviously you're going to go to add materials, add assignment. There we go. This is your assignment setup screen. So obviously you have to give the assignment a name and a description. So this can be the full directions of the assignment. You can put media in here. You can embed a Google Doc in here to show assignment directions. This is full-fledged here. You can add attachments to the assignment directions. This is not the assignment. Okay, this is not the part where they turn it in, right? This is just your directions and the things that you want to have them available to do the assignment. So that's where that takes place. Obviously, you want to give it a due date. If you want to give them a time limit on it too, that's perfect. Got to give them a category in order for it to be graded. Now, if it's an ungraded assignment, you don't want it to appear in the grade book, and then push that over to Schoology, then you want it ungraded. But for most assignments that you're setting up here in Schoology, you want it graded. So you got to give it a category. Got to give it a grading period. Grading periods should be set automatically by our Connect with Dazzle gradebook. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. Factor one, grading, numeric. You don't really have to worry about that too much. Obviously, you want it numeric. You can give them a letter grade, but if it's going over to progress book, you want it probably numeric. All right. You can align to learning objectives if you'd like. You can pull those up. Search your Common Core objectives, add it to the assignment. Then you've got your options down here. Individually assign. We'll talk about grading groups here in just a few minutes. This enables you to assign it to just a group of kids or an individual kid. If the student has an IEP, you could give a special assignment just for them. If you're differentiating your class and you have different levels, you can create groups with those different levels and then assign it to those groups individually. And the way that works is you just click the option there, and then you can begin typing in the names of your group or student right there. And that makes it really nice. The other kids don't see that assignment, just the kids that it's assigned to see the assignment. You can lock it so that it is, I'm not sure, that's something different now, but I think that means that they can't turn anything in during this time. So you might leave it unlocked there. You want to be able to have submissions. So that enables them to turn in the work. If you don't want them turning in work yet, you can disable submissions and they just see the assignment part and can't turn anything in. So you want to make sure that's on when you want them to turn it in. You can create the assignment ahead of time and not publish it to the students. So you can turn that off. And then when you're ready, go back into the setup and publish it. Gradebook statistics. This is really cool feature. You can see where they got it, where they didn't get it. If you want comments enabled on the assignment, if you want them to be able to click on comments and write a comment about it, enable those as well. And if you do have separate sections, you can copy this assignment to the different sections if you need to, setting it up one time. All right, so I'm going to click create. And now I have my test assignment here. And this is what it looks like for you, the teacher. This is where those comments are posted. So if a kid has a question about the assignment, they can post their comment there. And this will be where the assignments that are turned in, you'll see those listed, and to grade those, you'll click on each individual student there. And we'll talk more about that when we get into grading assignments in the next session. So that is the basic setup of creating a basic assignment. And I'm going to turn the Google assignment over to Trish. Is there anybody that has any questions on a basic assignment here?
Robin, I saw Brenda had a question and I was busy responding to different chat messages. So I'm sorry I missed it to just answer it. But she said this is where she puts her video for the week. Is that okay? So Brenda, if you want to chime in here, I'm not sure which part Robin was showing when you asked that.
So when I make an assignment and I make it, at least this was at the end of last year when we were doing COVID, I would make the assignment be for the whole week, and I would in there, I would put my video, and I would even take pictures of the worksheets so that they could click. Everything would be on there, the video, the worksheets that they had to do. And I'm just making sure that's okay. That's a fine way to put it out, because all my kids could see it.
Right. correct me if I'm wrong, Trish, but I would still create that folder, that weekly folder, and then put the assignment that you're creating with all of that material in there in the assignment in that folder. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
So
So,
Brenda,
like, let me share my screen again here.
Well, when you share your screen, it's so tiny, even, I mean, I don't care what I do to look at it. It's so blurry. I can't even see what you're doing on there. But none of my kids had trouble finding it last year. So whatever the calendar date was, if they would just go click on that date and click on math, they could always get the assignment and the video right there.
yeah,
Again-
so Brenda, what we're saying is you can, for the actual assignment, that's fine. You did it just fine and you can do it that way again this year. What Robin's saying is, as far as where you put that assignment in your course, that needs to go into the weekly folders that we're telling everybody they need to use this year. So when you add a material to your course, you can add it on the front page or you can add it within a folder. And so this year, what we talked about yesterday in the course organization video, you need to create a folder for each week on that main page. So you'll go to, on the main page of your course in Schoology, you're going to go to add materials. You're going to add a folder. You're going to date that folder for the current week. And then you're going to open that, once you save it, when you want to add an assignment, you're going to open that folder, then go back up to the top, go to add materials, and create that assignment inside that weekly folder. So your assignment creation process is the same from last year. It's just a matter of where you put it for the organization for this year.
And I can put it in both.
It's only going to go in one place and it's going to go in the weekly folder.
All right.
It'll automatically show up on the calendar still because it has a due date. Okay.
Gotcha.
But you only have to put it in your weekly folder.
Got it. Thanks.
Sure.
We had another question about does the lock feature give you extended calendar dates? No. The lock feature, I just looked it up. The lock feature just disables submissions for that date range. So it doesn't put that on the calendar. It just it's just to prevent submissions to the assignment during that time. Good
Awesome.
question.
Hey, Robin, can I ask a question real quick? In the assignments and the grading portion, I do give just letter grades for art. I mean, I don't necessarily do points or anything like that. Is that something I can still do with Schoology or no?
So yeah, do you push those grades back over to?
I would just not grade it on Schoology, and I would just do it and then take the grade and then push it into progress.
You can still do it that way. It's just then now we have Schoology set up to like push the grade over to Progress Book, so you don't have to do it in two different places.
So is there a way to do a letter grade? Like you were saying, oh, this is like the A's, B. Is there a way to still like to do that?
If you mark a letter grade in Progress Book, do you do that?
Yes.
So yeah, whatever you mark in Schoology as your grade, it will push that grade over to Progress Book. Yeah,
okay, great.
Absolutely.
We had one other question earlier about PD, and I don't know the answer. I've texted Sarah and Tracy to see if I can hear back from them, but maybe somebody else just already knows. Leah's asking, will this go under the building in service or a workshop TLH for our IPDIP? Does anybody know the answer to that one?
I believe it's a workshop.
Oh, go ahead.
I believe. I don't know, but if somebody knows the answer, go ahead.
Whenever we've done this before, like any type of PD, we've been using it as building. But if you guys have something else that I don't really think it matters too much right now, with just logging it is the biggest thing, making sure it's in, because you have like 30 days before or after that date before you're no longer allowed to put it in.
Thanks, Amy. And I've got some text out too. So if we get any other information, I'll jump back in with that too. All right, you guys ready to move on to Google Drive assignments? Okay, great. And just to give you an overview of what we're covering today, we are gonna do, Robin already did the basic assignments. We're gonna do Google Drive assignments. I'm gonna cover pictures and videos. So how do you have it so that kids can take a picture and submit it to you, or take a video and submit it to you. We're gonna go over those. And then Robin's gonna wrap it up with online discussions in Schoology as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we are going to go to Schoology. So let me make sure I grab the right one here. I think it's this one. If not, we'll reshare again. Okay. So let me flip over to Schoology. Can you guys all see my Schoology screen now? Good.
Trish, we see your Wii video screen.
Okay. Well, yep. I shared it wrong then. Hold on. Where did it go? Here we go. All right. How about now?
Yep.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you. I always like to check. I don't want to be talking for 10 minutes and realize nobody can see what I'm talking about. All right. So with the Google Drive assignment, it works. The beginning of it is just the same as Robin was talking about with a regular assignment. So, and for this year, following that weekly organization for our folders, I would go into my weekly folder. And then from here, I'm going to add a material and I'm going to add an assignment, just like Robin just showed you with the basic assignment. The difference is I'm going to click that Google button. So once the screen loads, we'll see it. I'm going to give it a title. So we're going to say Schoology, Google Drive. Okay, and then I can give it a description just like I can for the regular assignment. You can even add your videos. You can record right here with a little microphone if you want to record a video about your assignment or what to do. Add directions. You can add resources for documents and all kinds of things that the kids would look at for directions, just like you would a regular assignment. Down here, you're going to click this Google Drive assignments button. Okay, now what this does is it's going to let you pick a document from your Google Drive. And then when the kids have that as an assignment, when they go in, it's going to automatically create a copy of that document or slideshow or spreadsheet, whatever it is that you grabbed for each student. So teachers used to do this an old school way where they would create basically what they would consider a template, right, in Google, and they would want all the kids to have a version of it so they could fill it out and submit it back to the teacher. Well, it was kind of clunky and you'd have to force the kids to make a copy, or the kids would have to click on file, make a copy, and then they were the owners, and then they'd have to share it back to the teacher. And the whole process worked, but it was, like I said, it was a little confusing and it took up a lot of class time. So now Schoology has what they were calling these Google Drive assignments, and it takes all of the logistical pieces out of it. So now when you do it and we grab this, it will automatically create a copy for each student. It automatically adds you on it as you are the owner of it and the student is the editor of it. So you can go through Schoology and you can actually pull up their documents while they're working on it. So it takes care of all of the sharing on the back end. And it adds this handy little submit button on the student side of it. So when they're finished, they submit it to you. It actually changes the ownership for them and cuts off their editing privileges. So once they submit that document to you, they can't make any more changes to it. So then you can go in Schoology on your account and grade it, and you can actually give it back to them if you want to at the end too. So it's pretty slick if you've got a template in Google that you want them to, copy and go with. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and go with a tech office hours here just to grab a document to use as an example. I'm going to attach it. Okay, so now you can see it even tells me right here, this will create a copy of your file for each student. Okay, great. So I could give it a due date just like Robin did. For the main assignment, I can set point value. Remember, same thing, set your category if you're going to push it over to progress book. Okay, and then from here, I just click create. Okay, so now I've got this Google Drive assignment created. So when I click on it now, let's say I want to go see what my kids are doing and see if anybody's done anything with it. This Teachnology Google Drive is what I just created. I'm going to click on that to open it up. And it looks a little bit different. It looks a little different than a regular assignment. So what I've got here is I have my assignment tab. So if I look down here, this is whatever I would have typed in or added a video or directions, anything I would have added for that main thing, that main assignment piece. Okay, if I flip to the in progress tab, that's where I can see I've got 2 students enrolled in my course right now, but neither one of them have started. So if I can look at Andy and it says, nope, he hasn't started yet. I can look at Sarah. Nope, she hasn't started yet either. Okay. And I can also look at submissions. So there aren't any just yet, but if there were, I could filter it by what is already graded. I could look at only the ones that need to be graded, or if there's a due date on it, I could look at the ones that are on time or late. Okay, now I realize right now with nobody doing any work in this, it's kind of hard to visualize what this is going to look like. So I'm actually going to flip over to a student view. I'm logged in as our trustee, Andy Anderson here. And I might have to, I'm guessing I'm going to have to switch my screen share because you guys can't see the Andy Anderson screen. Are you still looking at mine?
Yes.
Okay, so let me switch my desktop here. Okay. All right, can you see? And now it should be black on the top, and I'm logged in as Andy Anderson. Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yep,
so what I did is I just switched to a student view. Before you were looking at my view as a teacher. Okay, now I'm logged in as a student, and so this is what the students are going to see when they log in and they do a student assignment. So I'm going to go to my assignment. All right, so now these are the assignments that are in that folder for my course. I'm going to click on this Teachnology Google Drive. That's what we're doing for today. So we're going to open that up. Okay, now again, from the student, they still have 2 tabs at the top, but it's a little bit different than the teacher view. I have the assignment tab, which will give me the description and any directions that you gave to that student. When they flip over to the My Document, now this is where it automatically creates a copy of your original template for that student. Oh, well, it's giving me issues because I have multiple accounts up here. So let's log in and allow. All right, it's just issues because I think I'm in an incognito window, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Trish, if you click the eyeball up there, that should allow cookies and should allow you to edit it.
The eyeball?
Yeah, all the way over to the right, right next to where it says incognito.
Oh.
Click on that. Click site not working. Allow cookies.
All right, nice. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so this is what the document looked like that I shared with them. Okay, so now you can see that Andy has a copy of it. He can edit. Okay, so if he doesn't want to have this on it, maybe this is supposed to be a welcome packet for their own packet that they're putting together for a study guide. So he's going to change it to welcome to my 5th grade year. And they're going to put all the things that they need into this welcome packet. Okay. They can delete, they can make any kind of changes they want. Now, as the student works on it, they can work on it straight from the Schoology window. Okay. And when they do that, they have the submit assignment button. So when they're finished, they can just click that button and it turns it over to the teacher. All right. So right now, though, I'm going to flip back to the teacher view. So you can see I've got 2 assignments set up. One that I just created. So we'll see what that looks like. And then another one with some other work in there too. But before I flip over to the teacher side, do you guys have questions on the student side?
Okay. Yeah, there were a couple of questions in the comments. Yeah, so when you do this Google assignment, it does not affect your original. It creates a copy so that your original is always fine.
Correct.
We'll talk about setting up categories in Schoology in just a little bit. Yeah, does anybody else have any other questions? I'm just looking through them real quick here.
I just had a piece of advice.
Sure.
Make sure they click the submit button. Try to tell them to click submit because it's like they get stuck in that in progress side. And I found it really tedious, I guess, over the with the COVID and the shutdown and everything that I had to keep toggling back and making sure that the in progress was actually done. It was kind of,
But they actually click submit.
Yeah.
Well, and then one little tidbit too, this is a document that is created for them, and it lives in their Google Drive. It is a Google Doc. So if they open up their Google Drive, they will see this Andy Anderson Teachnology Google Drive file. If they do that and they're looking at it through Drive and not through the Schoology app, they're not going to have the submit assignment button. In order to submit it, they have to open it through Schoology, not through Google Drive. Now, regardless of where they work on it, all the changes match, right? If they make edits in Google Drive, they're going to open that document in Schoology and have all the same edits there. That won't change, but they only get the submit assignment button when they open it from Schoology. Now, I have a video tutorial created already for the students on how to submit assignments and how to troubleshoot, what happens when their submit assignment button isn't there. So it's a tutorial video that walks the kids through how to do a Google Drive assignment and how to find their Drive document and how to submit that. That is shared out, and I'll show you where it is. So you can share that with your students too. So if they are having troubles, say, hey, watch this video. This explains why you don't have a submit button, or how to get to there, or how to deal with these assignments. Okay. So I'm going to, yep.
There's one other question, Trish, and I'm not sure that there's a way to do this. Maybe you know. How do you make parts that cannot be changed within the document that they can edit?
So you could do that. You could probably do that easier in a slideshow if you created a slideshow and then changed the background of that slide to whatever image you wanted. Like if you create an image of the part that you don't want to be changed. This is not going to make a whole lot of sense if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, but we do have a great tutorial video that we can push out after the fact to whoever wants it on how to make slides interactive. And then that would be a good way to make it to where they can't change certain parts of it, because and they could if they wanted to, it just makes it harder. I think you can add probably a background image in a doc too, can't you? Does anybody know?
I think so, but I mean, obviously once they open that their copy of that document, they do own that document.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they could find a way to change that, but that would make it very difficult. Yeah.
They could, but what a lot of teachers do too is they will make a table. They'll insert a table, or so that provides some structure for that document. So then,
right.
And that's actually one of the other examples that I already have. So I'm going to flip
Trish,
back over.
I did that. That's exactly what I did. I actually made the Google Doc. I had no kids messing with my questions, and then I just did the little tab or the whatever you just said, and then they fill in the answer right there. They knew exactly where to fill in the answer, so they're not messing with the document. They know exactly where to type.
Exactly. And I've got an example. Yeah, that's awesome. And I've got an example of that right here. Actually, I have already had an example created. So we'll go ahead and look at that. It's going to be a very similar setup as we just looked at. So I'm on the teacher view now. Okay, this is my assignment. I can flip to in progress. And now I can see that Andy Anderson is in progress. And this is an example of doing a table. So as the teacher, I created this template that has the table in it. Okay, and then each table is numbered, where the students are supposed to type and pop in their answers. So yes, the student can still adjust the table if they really get in there and mess around with it. But usually they're not trying to mess it up. They're just trying to do the assignment and accidentally mess it up. So, putting that table structure in there is a nice way to give them a clear spot to go in and type. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is the teacher view. We're back to the teacher side again. Here we go. So you can see, I can see what the students have been working on. So, Andy's done some typing here. I still have editing privileges, so I can edit the document, or I can add comments to that document. And talk to the student that way. So I can open the comment history. We should be able to add a comment. So I could add a comment here and talk to the student back and forth that way. Okay, so you've got all of the regular editing features that you have in Google Drive that you do with a Google Drive assignment. Okay, I can also see if there are any submissions. So under submissions here, let's see, I have one. So Andy has submitted this to me. So now I can go through and actually give him a grade if I want to as well. So he did awesome. Well, he didn't really do awesome. He really didn't do the assignment. So you know, maybe he doesn't get a great grade this time. I can leave him a comment and I can save it. Okay, and now that has been graded for him.
Trish,
Yeah.
somebody's asking if you can go back to Andy and see what the comment looks like from his perspective.
Yeah, I didn't actually add a comment, but we will.
Okay. I think the comment in the document is what they're talking about.
Oh, sure. I don't think I actually wrote one. So let me put one in.
Okay.
All right, so we will comment. Okay, so now we want to flip back to Andy's side and see what that looks like.
Yeah, but you'll probably have to unsubmit it for him.
He should, he should still be able to see those
You should
comments,
still
but
be able to see it. That's right. Yeah.
yeah, but we can unsubmit it too. That's fine. But once you unsubmit it, it takes it out of your submission section, puts it back into your in progress section. Okay, so you should still have a comment here. Okay, now that they do have to scroll over. That's the one thing when you're looking at it in the Schoology window, there are these double scroll bars here. So you kind of have to show the kids, scroll over to see the comments. Otherwise they might miss them if they're working in Schoology. All right, so I'm gonna flip back and show Andy's side and we will go pull that assignment up. So I believe this one. All right, let me grab it and drag it back over. Okay, can you guys see, oh, no, it's paused. Why is it paused? Robin, I'm getting my screen sharing is paused. What are you guys seeing right now? Oh, here we go, resume share. Okay, now can you see Andy's side?
Yes.
Okay,
We're
great.
seeing the other assignment.
Yep, I'm gonna flip back over to my
Okay.
folder. I'm gonna flip back to this Google Drive assignment example, which is the one we were just working on. I'm gonna go to my document. Okay, so this is the one with the table in it that we talked about. And here are the comments right on the side. And Andy could reply back to me. Okay, so you can comment back and forth, but again, tell the students that it's over there, because if they're working on the Chromebook and their screen is small, they're probably going to get that double scroll bar at the bottom too, and they're going to have to scroll over to see that as well. So for Google Drive assignments from the teacher side, you set it up just like a regular assignment, but you click that Google Drive button. That allows you to pick your template from your Google Drive. Once you do that, it pushes it out to the kids. So once they click on their My Document tab, it will automatically create a document for them with their name on it, with the assignment title on it. And then that gives you editing privileges as well for the whole time that they're working on it. You can see they're in progress, and then you can see once they've submitted it and give it a grade, which will load right into your Schoology gradebook. You have questions on Google Drive assignments before we go on to pictures and videos?
Yes. When you gave it the grade and you wanted to give a comment with the grade, where do they see that comment?
That is a good question. I'm going to flip back. Actually, let's see. Instead of switching my screen share, I'm just going to go back real quick on my own screen and give it a comment with a grade. And then we'll pull it up. Come on. Oh, it's not. Shoot. Sorry, give me a second here. I think he's got to submit it before I do that. So let me submit the assignment. Okay. I'm just refreshing my screen to pull it up.
While she's pulling it up, to answer your question, if the student clicks on their gradebook link in the left side of the Schoology page, they will see all of the grades with comments that you've given them in Schoology. So hopefully, Trish, we're still seeing your Google.
Yeah.
Okay.
I flipped over on the teacher side and just added a comment
Okay.
into the grade and submitted it. Remember, I submitted it from Andy's side first, and then as a teacher, I went through and gave it a comment. So if the student clicks on this comment button right here next to their grade, then it's going to show, this is what I typed in. This is a comment on the grade right here. Okay, and then on the teacher side, there was a checkbox to put that comment in. And I can show you that again. So let me flip back over. All right. So can you guys see my teacher side now? With my grade Andy's assignment box popped up?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the grade. This is where I can add the comment. And then I added the share gradebook comment with your student checkbox right here and saved it. And then the student could see it right next to their grade if they clicked on that comment button.
Trish?
Yeah.
Trish, how did the, how are the points determined? Like if I had open-ended questions or like an essay type question, obviously I have to grade those myself, but how does that factor in here with the Google Drive assignments? Like that example that you were showing that Andy has 50 points out of 100, like where did that come from?
Sure, so that came from when I first set up my assignment to begin with. And so I'm gonna jump back out of the actual assignment so I can get to those assignment details. So I'm gonna go back to where my folder is.
Okay.
And then this Google Drive assignment example right here. If I click on my gear and I click edit, this right here where it says 100 points,
yes,
you can change that to whatever you want. So if that assignment is only worth 50 points, then you can just type in 50 and then that will be the max points for that assignment. Now you're asking, if you use this for an essay, what you can do for the essay is just create a template, and you don't even have to put much on your document, but just maybe put like a place for the title and place for their name. You'll get the name on your document, but if you are going to print these out at all, I know some teachers still like to grade essays in print. You want to have the kids put their name, actually type their name in the document, because otherwise their name is not on there anywhere where it would print. So you could have a spot for their name and a spot for their title, and that's it for the template, and then just make a copy for everybody and let them fill in the rest with their essay. Or maybe you could just put in the essay question at the top, and that's the only thing you add on there, and then they just have to type in their essay at the bottom and fill that in.
And then submit. They would type in their answers and then submit it.
Yes. Now there's also, when you're talking about assessments, you could do an essay question through an assessment, which is different than an assignment. That would be more like a test. But if this is more of a writing assignment for the course that you're doing, this would work really well for that. But definitely something to consider. We're not hitting assessments during this session, but I can help you with those at a different time, or we can do another session once we're kind of up and running with everything on assessments. So that's something to kind of think about the difference between the two. But this works great for classroom writing.
Yeah.
So just another thing about assessments. Trish, if you could do me a favor and switch back over to Andy's screen. I know it's a hassle to switch back and forth.
No, it's fine. Just need to find the right one. Can you guys see it? I feel like I picked the wrong one.
Page right now.
Which one? The learn page? That is not the right one. Okay. Okay.
There
Can
we
you
go.
see that?
Now click back on home there up in the left-hand corner. So if you want students to see your, or now go back to your course. We had another question about comments and students being able to see comments. They can
Okay.
go into the individual assignment and click on comments, but oftentimes, like we know kids, they are not going to do that. But if you train them to click on grades here in the left-hand column, that lists all of the assignments that they have and the grades that they have with the comments next to them. So that kind of forces them to see that there's a comment there and that you can see them. I don't think that those comments transfer over to Progress Book. Progress Book only takes the grade over. So those comments won't be transferred over to Progress Book, unfortunately. But if you train your kids to look here at that grade link, they will see comments that you put next to the final grade.
All right. So I'm going to try to get through pictures and videos here kind of quickly, and it's relatively simple, I think. So, and I have some great tutorial videos that you can share with your students on how to do this. So I'm going to pop back over here. All right. Are we back to the teacher side?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So if you want your students to take a picture of something and submit it to you, all you have to do is add an assignment. Okay. And you can just make it just a generic, give your title, picture of your work, give directions, take a picture. Whoops, can't spell, but all right. So from here, you can give it your due date so it shows up on your calendar. You can give it your category so it can push over to Progress Book. Okay, you can adjust the points. Maybe this is only worth 10 points. And then you can create that assignment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you from the student side what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. Okay. And then I actually have an assignment all set up that I can share with anybody who wants it on a teacher side, and you can grab any of the directions that you want. So I'm going to show you what this one looks like. I wanted to show you one from creating it from scratch. Nope. I thought this one had text in it. Never mind, not this one. It must be in a different one. But we are going to, wait, this one should have it in there. I think it's not loading. There it is. All right, so from here, this is one that I created ahead of time. And it basically has all the directions in it for what you might put for your students. So how to take a picture and submit it from your Chromebook, how to take a picture and submit it from your phone. It has a video embedded in it, which I actually need to swap out. I re-edited this video and actually put circles and pointers on where you're supposed to click. But like I said, if you want this assignment, we can put it, I can share it with you through your resources, and you can copy and paste anything about it if you want to, because it has videos linked already on how to do this for your students. Okay, but right now I'm going to flip over to Andy's account and show you how he would submit a picture from his end. From your end, it's really simple. You just create an assignment. You don't have to add a Google Drive piece to it. You don't have to do anything else. You just create that assignment with your title, your directions, and your date, and then the kids do the rest from their end. So I'm going to flip over to Andy's account here. Okay. I'm going to go to his materials. Oops. All right. Are we back on Andy's Schoology account?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I'm going to go into his week here. All right. And so here is the one that I created a while ago. All right. And then here is the brand new one that I just created. I'm going to do a new one right now. So this is the one I just created. So all he has to do is click on this submit assignment button. And this goes for any assignments, just submit them back to you. So from here, For this one, they're going to click, they can record the video right here or take a picture with their webcam right here. And so in order to do that, they would click on this microphone button, and then they can click audio only. So if you just want to hear fluency and you want to hear how your students are doing reading out loud, you could have them submit an audio only file and it just records their voice. Or you can do an audio and video. Okay, so this would be a quick little video. And maybe with artwork, Terry, you know, you want to have them give a quick reflection or critique of their work along with what they made. So we could click on audio video here. The first time they do it, they'll get a little pop-up box up in the corner that will make them allow access to their microphone and camera. But from here, you can just click start recording. So if you wanted to have them do a video of, say, I'm grabbing an airplane here, their artwork, they can show you the artwork, see it in 3D all around, tell you their critique, tell you the process for designing it, for making it, you know, whatever it is that you want them to include. Click stop recording. And from here, they can play it back and they can see it, make sure they like it once it's finished uploading. And then from there, they can submit it straight to you as a teacher. Okay, so I'm going to submit this in a couple different ways, and we'll look at it to see what it looks like from the teacher view. Now, I do have a video linked up for how to do this from your phone, which looks a little bit different than how to do it on a computer. So I'm going to insert the recording. If I didn't like it as a student, I could just click the X and then click the button again and do a new video. But we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and insert that. So now here it is. Here's my video recording. Okay, and I'm going to click submit. Now, let's say I wanted to actually submit a picture and not actually make a live video. This time, I'm going to click on the file button. So same thing, I'm on this upload tab. I just click submit assignment, and I'm going to click on file. And now, if the student had the picture on their Chromebook, they could grab it from there or whatever device they're looking on. I'm going to go and I'm going to grab an image. So I'm going to grab this picture. I'm going to open it. So if that image is on their Chromebook, they can just grab it from their Files app, and I have a video of what that looks like on a Chromebook that is shared out as well. So now I'm just going to click submit. Okay, so now his assignment is submitted. So in this example, there's a video and a picture assigned, or that he submitted. So I'm going to, I'll click on it. He can see it if he wants to. Sometimes it takes a little bit to load, but he'd be able to see it right here. So here's the picture. I wonder if it replaced it. Nope. And here is the video. So it's making me download it now because I just did it. But normally you should be able to watch that right on your screen. So we're going to flip back over to what the teacher side looks like. If I can find that screen on my desktop. Here we go. Okay, so I am going to go to my assignment. And now I can see that Andy has submitted a file. Okay, so from here, I can see that he submitted his picture, which will load in just a minute. So I can take a look at that. I can see if I flip down, that he has also submitted a video. And again, I should be able to preview that. It's just not totally loaded. It takes a little bit before that preview becomes available on the teacher side. But I can give it a grade right up here. I can give it a comment. I can click that to show that to student and submit it to them. And that's pretty much it from their side. Now, from the student side, they can also submit a Google document to you that they created on their own. Robin, did you talk about that in the regular assignment?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Are you guys familiar with that part? Do you want me to go over how to submit a document from Google Drive?
If you wouldn't mind,
that'd be great.
Okay, thanks. All right, so let me flip back over. Let's see. I'm on the teacher side. I'm even confusing myself right now. Let me flip back over to the student side. All right, so you should be seeing Andy's submission here. All right, so the nice thing about the pictures, the videos, and this is going to be to submit a document or file from their Google Drive, but it is not a Google Drive assignment, right? So this would be in the case that your students created their own document or slideshow or spreadsheet from scratch. You didn't push it out to them through Schoology. It didn't automatically make a copy for them. This is something that they created on their own, and you want them to submit it to you, okay? So they just click the submit assignment button, and then they're going to go to resources. And once they have resources over here, they go to apps, and then they have this Google Drive, and then now they have all of their Google Drive here. So they can pull anything from here, or they can actually search up at the top too. This is Andy Anderson's account, remember? So lots of teachers use this for all kinds of things. So I really have no idea what's in here, but we're gonna go with this essay, and we're gonna import, is that right, Robin? We just import the file?
Yes,
Okay.
import file.
Import file. It's going to load. All right, so Andy's got a couple submissions here, but one of them is his essay that he just submitted to me. All right, so this is the essay that he just submitted to me from Google Drive. Now from a teacher side.
Before you do that, Trish, before you go
Sure.
to the teacher side, they want you to, they want to see that one more time.
Sure, okay. So I'm gonna close out of, whoops, the submission. I'm gonna click resubmit assignment. If this was the first time he was submitting, you would just click this button, just says submit assignment. So submit assignment. This tab pops up. We're gonna go to the resources tab, okay? Students can also create from scratch. If you just want them to type a quick answer, they could do that. But for the most part, I think teachers are collecting things through Google Drive. But if you just wanted them to give you a link to something that they created, they could add a link in this text box here and submit it that way. But for Google Drive, you're going to click on resources. You're going to click on apps. And this is from the student side. This is what they do. And then you're going to select the document that they want to submit to you, and then click import, import file. Okay, and then that is submitted to them. And I will say it's good to go over this with the kids. Most sixth graders and up have probably done this a lot, so they're probably pretty familiar with how to do this. But it's always good to show them how to do that in the beginning of the year as well. Questions on that?
Trish, you can do that too, though. Like I remember you saying, like sometimes I did that if I was pulling something off my Google Drive, I could do it a similar way to put it in my assignment, similar to that, correct?
Yeah, like if you have a resource that you created, like that's directions or a picture
Right.
or document
Off
that you want to
Google,
share with them.
that's similar. Okay.
Yes, it looks the exact same way that you would add a resource to an assignment from your side. It's
Okay.
just that they're grabbing that resource and submitting it back to you in the assignment for a grade.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. And we'll talk about grading in our next session. So we'll talk about the grade book here in about 35 minutes. Okay, so I want to point out, I'm going to flip back over. I want to show you guys our Wakelet that we've got created for this. Because it's got a lot of video tutorials already created on both of these sides. So we have a Wakelet that I pushed out in the comment or the chat section of our Zoom session, and it is how to collect work online in Schoology. So this is kind of the teacher side, and you've got links to some support documents on how to create materials, how to create discussions, how to use the Google Drive app. If you are teaching with another teacher and you want both teachers to have access to the students' Google documents that you're grading, check out this video. This is kind of level 2. Get used to your Google Drive assignments on your own first. But like I said, if you've got another teacher that you need access to, take a look at this video. It shows you how to do that. But then what I really want to point out is this other collection, and it's how to submit work on Schoology from the student view. Now I already have that pulled up, so I'm just going to flip tabs over here. But I have it set out in different sections. So there's a whole section designed for designated for pictures and videos. So how to submit a picture to Schoology from your phone. Okay, I created this video the other day. How to submit a picture from your Chromebook in Schoology. It's a whole video tutorial. Basically what I just showed you guys on Andy Anderson's account, it's a video of how to do that you can grab and add to your assignments as your directions to your students. Okay, I've got another video, how to move a file from your Chromebook to Google Drive, how to take a picture on a Chromebook to begin with, how to record and submit a video right through Schoology, okay, and even an article on how to log into Schoology on a phone. So these are all great resources that you can grab and share with your students. Also, I have a student view tutorial on the student side of how students complete work through a Google Drive assignment. Okay, so there's all of these videos that are already created for you. Grab them, put them in your Schoology assignment for whatever directions you need for that particular assignment so they can watch them and see it from their perspective on exactly how to do those pieces.
Did you say yesterday that was like on their student learning hub or something, like on their first page?
I did. So if we,
like where is it exactly on their first page so I can show them where it is?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, so is this the kids view?
This is the staff view, but the kids will see the same thing. So it's this right here, resource collection, how to submit work in Schoology. So if they click on that and scroll down, it says click here, it'll open that Wakelet for them and it'll show them all of those videos.
And for high school teachers, we will be adding this to the high school in the same spot. So if you need that resource, it'll be there hopefully later today.
Yep.
Also,
All right, Robin. Oh, yep.
is there a Wakelet that goes through the directions on the teacher side? Like you've got here, you've made one for the students. Is there one for the teachers?
Yes, and that is linked in our Learn course, which I'll publish here after after we finish all the recordings for today. So that is right there. It's also in the chat feature of our Zoom session right now. So that link is right there, and that comes to this Wakelet right here, which is how to collect work online in Schoology. And it takes you through, oops, I don't know why my connection's unstable, creating assignments. And it's a lot of Schoology support documents, but they're really good. It's that co-admin access, and then it's also all of those student videos are linked right here too.
Okay.
Okay. Unfortunately, Robin, I took up all the time for assignments in Google Drive. Is anybody interested in hearing about discussions?
Sure.
We can stick around, Robin, if you're okay with that.
Sure. If you want to stick around, I won't go into too much detail. If you want more information about this, reach out to me and we'll do a separate Zoom session on this if you want. But discussions in Schoology is a different type of assignment that you can assign. And let me share my screen real quick here. Let me pull up. All right. So let me go back out of this for just a second. So again, discussion is an assignment type that you can have with your students where you can give them a prompt, something to talk about, and then have them do a discussion online. So for example, I mean, this is just like setting up an assignment. I'm not going to go through this part right here, but this is how you would set it up. Again, you're going to go to add materials, add a discussion. Just like you would an assignment, you're going to give it a title, a description, a due date. You can enable grading if you want to grade it and hold them accountable. Again, you do the same things you would in setting up any assignment, and then you just click create. All right. I'm going to show you one that I've already gotten, that I've already used in the past. So This particular one is graded with the rubric. So you have the directions up here about what you want them to discuss. The thing about discussions is you want to be very specific about what you expect. Be clear on your expectations. Create a discussion post in response to this prompt. Then respond to 3 of your classmates. Just be aware that the more you have them respond to your classmates, the more you're going to have to read. So try to frame it in that realm. One initial post, and then maybe 2 or 3 responses to people who posted on your comment or a response to the initial post. So in grading those, and I'm really rushing through this, I apologize. Again, if you want a bigger session on this, I'd be happy to have one separately. In grading those, right now you see this whole big thread of discussions and responses, and it can be overwhelming to grade those. This enables you to select a specific user and see exactly how many times they've posted or responded in the discussion topic. So, for example, Madeline here has done it 11 times, and if I click on her name, it highlights all of her posting as I go through scrolling. I can see what she's done. And then to grade hers, all I do is come out here, click on the rubric that I've created, and we'll talk about grading next time, but click on the rubric, give her the grade, save it, and that particular student's grade has been recorded. So again, very quickly, discussions are a way to have students communicate online about a specific topic. They can also, in their discussions, I don't know whether you saw that, but it gives you the whole Schoology realm of what you can put in your discussion. So they could do a recording, they could do a link to a document, they could link a Google file, they can add a link to a YouTube video. So they can do pretty much anything in their initial post or in their comments to those posts. So it's a great way to have students communicate online when they're not in the same room with you. So it's a good thing to try in person first. If you want to do this while they're remote, it's a great thing to do in person so that you can kind of troubleshoot any questions that they might have. That was the down and dirty quick explanation of doing a discussion online. If you have questions, again, let me know if you're interested in this. If you are, we can do a more in-depth discussion on discussions. All right, let's see.
While you're looking at those two, I added a resource collection on how to create dynamic discussions. So if if you're interested in learning more about using that discussion tool, Catlin Tucker, who's the course we were offered to take part in this summer, she had some great suggestions on how to create really great, engaging and leveled questions, and how to get your kids engaged. So take a look at that. I'll link it to the Learn course when this is recorded and all set up, but it's also linked right over here in your chat. And it looks like, yeah, since this can insert a video, it can be used like Flipgrid. Yep, absolutely. And remember, the kids can record video right in Schoology. We had some issues with that over the last year or so. That feature wasn't working on the Chromebooks, but Schoology has fixed that and redesigned that whole feature. So now it's really slick. It's a really great way to have kids record themselves, voices or video, full video, and pop that in there and talk. And definitely, we talked yesterday about building that online community. This is a great way to set expectations of the communication, like Robin was saying, but also how do we behave online, and introduce those pieces now. So whether you're face-to-face or remote, they know the drill.
Absolutely. All right. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. Let us know. We're always here to help you out. And thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, guys.